Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. We are back in studio, and unfortunately, there's been more that has transpired with this stabbing in Charlotte, North Carolina, of this beautiful Ukrainian refugee, 23 years old, I believe. And I'm just going to go ahead and warn you that, I mean, all of it is... If it's not graphic, it's just really hard to watch and hard to stomach. I'm quite confident that I am going to have nightmares about this tonight because I haven't been able to get the images out of my head. But be that as it may, it is still really important to talk about because every single person in this country should be outraged when they see not only this woman being killed when she didn't have to be because this crazy, deranged lunatic should have been locked up. But what should be more maddening is that the left is, I don't know, like trying to justify the murder, trying to tell conservatives that they're the ones who are to blame because they bring the issue to light. First, it was the security cameras, the surveillance cameras. That's the problem. Then it was, okay, fine, it's just conservatives. And I guess conservatives bringing up race as an issue and not the murder. You know what? Let's just start at the beginning, okay? In case you missed it, which you may have if you watch mainstream media, you had August 22nd, a young woman getting on the light rail in Charlotte, North Carolina. Or Irina Zarutska is her name. As I said, 23 years old, from Ukraine. You see this, she's sitting down, minding her own business. The man behind her pulls out a knife, completely unprovoked. She's still in her own world. And you will see her get stabbed multiple times in the neck. Now that we've got some other angles of that. But the DOJ today hit this stabbing suspect with federal charges. And I want to play now the footage that has emerged of the moments right after the stabbing, which is, it's honestly, it's really hard to watch, but I need everyone to just pay attention to it. Go ahead, Stephen. This was right afterwards. She's been stabbed and she's, crying. Nobody's even, it's like no one's even looking at her. Oh, this black woman next to her glances at her. Yeah, glances at her and then gets up and walks away. And I mean, it really, honest to God, I would love to interview any of the people who were on that train to tell me what the hell was going on, because I gotta believe if someone gets stabbed unprovoked right in front of me, I see that happens. So it's really hard for me to understand why everyone's just like in their own world as if it's not happening. I realize there's a crazy lunatic who's standing up, who's just stabbed someone, but I'd like to believe that there would be anyone who would say something, which eventually happens, but it's not until there's blood all over the ground that people go over there. So I have a lot of questions as to why these people are just in their own little world. And them being a coward doesn't really satisfy it for me. So I want to show, we had Ken Silva on yesterday from Headline USA. They actually are the organization, one of the organizations that got full video of the attack. So we can go ahead and, again, this is all graphic. So there is he stabs her repeatedly multiple times. She's clearly terrified. This is the image that has stuck with me. There are pictures of her. Damn it, this is why it's hard when you have a female commentator, because we get all emotional, okay? But I mean, you see her slumped to the ground. She's on the ground. You see the blood. And it's like, how long does it take for someone to come over to help her? I am having a whole lot of trouble understanding. And then you think about the fact that, because I was having this conversation with someone and they said, well, I mean, if you're on a train and there's a guy with a knife and you've seen, look at the blood. You've seen that he's just stabbed someone who's dying. Do you really want to get involved? And I'm like, you're making a great argument for why people should be allowed to carry everywhere they go. Because on Charlotte, North Carolina, public transportation, you are not allowed to have any sort of firearm to defend yourself. So then people have to be scared. That's enough. So then people do have to be scared. Well, he has a knife. They are left completely defenseless in this metal tube where they're stuck for, 5-10 minutes at a time before the doors open again and they can get away from someone. And this is the end result of Democrat policies. This is the end result of Democrat policies in so many ways. In so many ways. You should be able to carry. Law-abiding citizens should be able to protect themselves wherever the hell they are, especially if my tax dollars pay for it. If my tax dollars pay for that transportation, I should be able to defend myself, because what ends up happening every single freaking time in a gun-free zone, what ends up happening? You have someone who doesn't give a shit about the laws and they bring a weapon and they kill people. That's what happens every single time. That Democrat policy just got someone killed. The Democrat policy in which they just keep releasing this person. They don't lock them up. They have cashless bail. They just release this person. In this case, I believe it was because he wrote a note to the judge and he promised that he'd be good. I shit you not. Look it up. This guy, super duper pinky promised to the judge that he would be good. I promise I won't commit any more crime. Don't mind the rap sheet. I promise. Signed, me. Oh, okay. Well, he wrote it down. That's as good as gold. Democrat policies are killing innocent Americans all over the country. All over the country. And it's just enough. This is part of the reason that President Trump was arrested. I'm sorry, that President Trump was inaugurated, not arrested, because he's arresting people. This man, 14 prior arrests, felony larceny, robbery with a dangerous weapon, assault, shoplifting, making threats, diagnosed with schizophrenia. Why was he on the streets? Democrat policies. Democrat policies. Period. And I'd like to show you some of these leftist groups that have actively tried to release these criminals onto the streets. Back in 2020, Mecklenburg County, where Charlotte is, was awarded its second grant in the amount of $1 million from the MacArthur Foundation. This is a leftist group who wants to develop and implement strategies capable of positively impacting the main drivers of the local jail population to continue safely reducing the jail population, providing non-jail alternatives for defendants. You know what? If someone has a rap sheet a mile long and they've already been diagnosed with schizophrenia, I don't want a non-jail alternative for them. Do you think it's a coincidence that the Democrats just shut down all of the, insane asylums, kept them shut down, and now wants to provide non-jail alternatives for defendants? I don't. And then you have the mayor who, boy, should we even get started on the mayor? The Democrat mayor, this is what the Democrat mayor had to say. Tragic incidents like these should force us to look at what we are doing across our community to address root causes. We will never arrest our way out of issues such as homelessness and mental health. Really. All I know is that if that guy were in prison, he would not have harmed this woman. So it's really that simple. But on top of all of these policies, these Democrat policies, these Democrat lawmakers, these Democrat officials who have completely failed their cities, you have people like Van Jones, CNN's Van Jones, who, yesterday we talked about the New York Times article that was like, actually, it's conservatives that are the problem. A gruesome murder in North Carolina ignites a firestorm on the right. So that already had happened. You already had the angle from the New York Times. And then you have Van Jones, who goes on to, you know what? I'm just going to let him. It's hard for me to get as low as Van Jones is, to get as dumb as Van Jones is. So I'm just going to let him speak for himself.
So certain people have been looking for an opportunity to find a case like this, to make a point like this. I want to play, this is Charlie Kirk, why he says this hasn't gotten a lot of attention.
A white Ukrainian refugee was murdered just because she was white. Everybody knows that, obviously. If a random white person simply walked up to and stabbed a nice, law-abiding black person for no reason, it would be an apocalyptically huge national story used to impose national sweeping political changes on the whole country. Instead, Megan Basham, no one seems to care when a white woman gets stabbed to the death.
Wow. He said white a lot.
We don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that, it's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong. Then he says that if something like that had happened the other way, there would be sweeping changes imposed on society. It's about the fact that we don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible. But it becomes an opportunity for people to jump on bandwagons. And then for someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
Really? That is, wow. Okay. No one mentioned anything about race except for Charlie Kirk. Okay. I mean, Van Jones is on CNN, so I expect him to be dumb. I'm not sure that I expected him to be that dumb. Let's go ahead and hear the words from the killer right after the attack. Got that white girl. That's what he just got. That white girl repeatedly is what he said. I'm sorry. What did Van Jones say again?
We don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that, it's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong.
Race mongering. He doesn't even know what the hell he's saying. He doesn't even know what he's saying. This is unbelievable, you guys. The gaslighting that is taking place right now from the left when, again, Charlie Kirk is right. I made the same point on my show yesterday. What do you think they would have done had the races been reversed? What do you think they would have done if a white man sat behind a black woman, stood up, and just completely unprovoked stabbed her to death and walked off the subway saying, I got that black girl? We would see riots in the streets right now in every major city in the country. We already saw this. We've seen this happen for far less when the roles are reversed. And it's just so disingenuous of these people, especially Van Jones. He is so quick to make things about race when it suits his narrative. But if anyone ever calls out, I'd say another race, but it's only one. It's only one. When the chips fall the other way, if anyone dares say anything about the black community, about the crime in the black community, about black people killing each other in Chicago every single weekend in record amounts, about black fatherlessness, about violent crime in black people, the statistics are there, but you're not allowed to say it. You're not allowed to say it. You're only allowed to talk about race when it's against white people, I guess, or when it benefits Van Jones himself. He has made his living being an opportunist who loves to make literally anything about race when it suits him.
I said, and I stand by it, I said that race was a part, and there was a part, that alt-right part, there was a part of a white lash. Between baseball, basketball, and football, we have nearly 100 American teams, 100 teams. Now, except for one person, Michael Jordan, every single principal owner is white. But the folks who are sweating at the bottom of the pyramid every game are mostly people of color. Now, that's not 2014. That's 1814.
Dude,
The
what a
one thing
loser.
you expect when something like that happens to your child, your unarmed child is killed by a stranger, is that the police will be on your side. And here, not only do you have your expectation that your kid who's not in trouble can get to the store and come back safely, but then even the police won't be on your side. It feels like the privatization of the kind of racial violence that we often associated with some of our worst police departments.
This is a disease. The numbers for the black community are going to be completely different than the numbers
I
coming
almost
out of
forgot
China
the
or
coronavirus
Italy,
was racist.
because it's an epidemic jumping on top of a bunch of other epidemics already in the black community.
I honestly almost forgot that they tried to make coronavirus racist. I forgot that. But I want to play one more clip here within his comment here. Let's play one more clip here of him just the other night on CNN on this killer that we, I guess, should have empathy for, because why?
We don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible, but it becomes an opportunity for people to jump on bandwagons.
Hurt people hurt people. Have you ever heard Van Jones say that? When a killer or a aggressor or anyone who is not the victim is white? Has he ever given that excuse for any white conservative male that he talks about? Hurt people hurt people. That's all it is. Pack it all up, guys. That's nothing more to see here. He's just hurt. He's just hurt. And so that's why he stabbed that woman. He's hurt. So you're able to know that this guy is hurt, but not that this case was about race, even though the person who brought race into it was the murderer. I don't know, CNN. That seems to me to be kind of a reason to talk about race. He's the one who said it. The fact that like one person is watching any of this trash is actually very, very, it's really depressing to me. Like I'm okay. You know what? I'll give him like 5 people, because the like the spouses of these people, I don't know. Even then, they probably don't watch them. But it is like society-ending level shit here that they are trying to pull, trying to convince you that Charlie Kirk is the bad guy because he's just reporting on what the guy said in the train after he stabbed this woman. It's disgusting. Make sure that you subscribe and share the show with a friend who may be watching CNN and they may not actually have heard that this is the actual truth of the matter. Share the show with them. Make sure you're subscribed to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Hit the like button and comment. Let me know. Are you as mad as I am about all of this? Let me know in the comments. And take your blood pressure medication. I don't have any, but I kind of wish I did right now. Want to thank our sponsor this segment, Jase Medical. So September is actually National Preparedness Month, and it's a really great reminder that it's always smart to be ready for whatever comes our way. And it just couldn't be a better time to prepare if you are not yet prepared, just in case something happens. The left keeps trying to make another pandemic happen. And so who knows when they're going to shut the whole world down. And if they do shut the whole world down, what we learned 5 years ago is that you can't get your medication, especially if you're in an emergency. You need medication, like the Jase case, 10 emergency medications and prescription antibiotics. They're going to ship directly to your door, so you have it when you need it. They've also got Jase Daily, which provides up to a 12-month supply of your medications that you're taking daily. So through National Preparedness Month, Jase is running a huge sale to make emergency readiness more affordable. You can enter promo code SARA at checkout for a discount on your order. That is promo code SARA at jase.com. One of the things that I think Republicans, conservatives should be sounding the alarm on right now, literally right now, is the fact that the price of things, the cost of things in this country have still not really come down. I realize I've seen all of the, the statistics on inflation, and obviously President Trump is doing a whole hell of a lot to clean up the mess that Joe Biden left. But one of the things that still remains is, of course, the cost of groceries, the cost at the gas pump, which has come down, but people are still feeling the reeling effects of higher prices, one of which is the cost of healthcare. It has just spiraled so far out of control, even though we were promised by Barack Obama that he was going to fix it. Somehow, it seems to have only gotten worse within the time frame that, Barack Obama enacted. Well, they enacted Obamacare, Barack Obama signed it. And then fast forward to even with Joe Biden in office, you still had Joe Biden and Barack Obama going out there telling us how they were going to once again fix the cost of healthcare. Wait a second, guys. I thought you did that the last go around. And I want to talk about what we can do so that we don't just get our rears handed to us in the midterms because it's the economy, stupid. I want to bring on my next guest, Mark Merritt. He is the president and CEO of Proactive Strategies, and of course, a much bigger expert in all of this than I am. Mark, welcome to the show. What would you say? And this is probably I'm asking you a question that cannot easily be answered, but what is driving this high cost of healthcare? I mean, it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. It's unsustainable.
Well, Sarah, I think you're more of an expert than you know because you laid it out perfectly. It started with Obamacare, which ended competition in healthcare and had hospitals buying doctors groups and insurance companies buying doctors groups and everybody, big business kind of taking over healthcare in a way that really was unhealthy. And so you have some good and some bad reasons for healthcare costs going up. The good one, obviously, is there is healthcare. Lifespan is 77 years old now. It was, 100 years ago, it was 50 years old.
Yeah.
But the innovations are great. The medicine is great. But then you have bad policy mixed with big business, particularly in the middleman insurance space, just gobbling up billions of dollars and really not adding any value to the system. But with Obamacare, what they did is they said, look, bigger is better. We want all the big healthcare companies to all work together. And then when they're all working together, they're all work to bring down costs, basically a monopolistic point of view. And it's just dead wrong. And now we're paying the price, and it's very, very hard to unwind it. And President Trump is trying to. But I think you're right in the sense that Republicans have put their head in the sand on this issue and keep trying to kind of talk their way out of it or make people think things are better than they are. When what you need are solutions. Yeah. And that's what's been missing in the debate so far. Yeah.
I mean, so then I guess what would be the solution? And I say this as, again, I appreciate your kind words. You've been tackling this for much longer than I have. But for full disclosure, I owned an insurance brokerage firm. And I was there when Obamacare was enacted and was laid out. And I literally watched it from that perspective. I watched all of these plans, all of these policies dwindle down to nothing. I mean, one year they had 20 different plans. The next year they had 5. It was insane how quickly they had to acclimate to all of these new rules and restrictions. And I heard, Republicans for so long were like, we're going to repeal Obamacare. And I was all for that. But then the mantra became, we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. And it's like, well, hold on. I don't know that we need to replace it with anything. And then they got all, mixed up in, well, what do we replace it with? How do we fix this? And then they just completely forgot that it needed to be fixed at all. So what would you recommend if you were talking to, let's say, Donald Trump or just, any high-ranking Republican in office? What would you tell them would be step one that they should be doing right now in order to solve some of this?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is, and not to be too wonky, but big business is just too big in this space. There needs to be antitrust legislation or litigation that prevents insurance companies from buying doctors groups and hospitals from buying doctors groups. Yeah. And all the healthcare forces that once competed against each other, gobbling each other up and creating higher costs. So now doctors, instead of going to the hospital that's the best or the most efficient, they get rewarded for sending people to their hospital, which is probably the most expensive hospital.
Yep.
And insurance companies are overpaid. They hire doctors groups, and then they pay those doctors more than other doctors. And the way the government works and Medicare works, that gets them more money.
Mm-hmm.
And so really you need to kind of break this down. This is something perfect for President Trump because he's no big fan of big business. He loves capitalism, as we all do. But sometimes monopolistic trust, he's a trust buster, and that's really what he should be, like Teddy Roosevelt here. The healthcare system needs trust busting. In a perfect world, you'd repeal Obamacare and start over. Yeah. Besides that, though, I think you need to make sure that these companies can't just buy each other and buy competing sectors of the health space and put them in one company.
Yeah, and it's fascinating, Mark. I've never thought about that aspect of it. I mean, I think about the hospitals charging, $20 for a Tylenol and spitting out these insane bills that, honest to God, I'm not saying the insurance companies are innocent by any means, by any stretch, but you see these insane bills and you go, okay, well, I mean, they have to pay those bills. Surely the rates are going to go up. The price is going to go up for everyone because they've got to pay these insane hospital bills. And so I realize there's a lot of blame to be shared here. How much of it do you think is like Medicare fraud and all of this fraud that's taking place in this space that's resulting in more money being spent that shouldn't be spent in the first place?
Well, there's at least, over the course of a 10-year period, there's at least $1 trillion in Medicare fraud going on right now. And the government is aware of this. There's litigation going on in a lot of different healthcare sectors right now, especially in the insurance space. But as you said also, it shouldn't single out insurers. It's everybody in the healthcare space has an incentive to increase prices, and really nothing's stopping them.
Right.
The big challenge really is the Medicare program, because that's a government program that's paid for by the government that we spend $1 trillion a year on. And I know the president doesn't want to, quote unquote, cut Medicare, which is correct.
Right.
But any reforms to Medicare, any attempts to rein in this way, fraud and abuse, is being portrayed as a cut to scare Republicans into not supporting it. And Republicans, as you know, healthcare is just not their strong suit. It's a Democrat issue, just the way defense is a Republican issue. Yeah. Republicans try to muddle through it. They try to say the right things, but their heart just isn't in it. That just needs to change. If they want to limit government, that's just going to have to change. They need serious reforms now.
Yeah. And I wonder, Mark, if one of the talking points that they could use, and you correct me wherever I'm wrong, if I'm off base here, but I've seen a lot of different stories lately of the amount of illegal aliens who are coming into our hospitals and using our services that are then paid for by the taxpayer. I mean, you're talking about, or if they get paid at all, right? You're talking about a lot of money that these hospitals have to shell out in care costs that they are not getting back from the receiver. They have to pass that cost on to someone, right?
Yes, they do. And again, this is part of all the laws right now incentivize hospitals, doctors, insurance companies, everybody to charge more. Mm-hmm. And so part of this is just kind of they have no other choice. But if you look at a hospital, try driving by a hospital that doesn't have a crane next to it, that's not building another wing.
No kidding.
They have money flooding in. And I love the hospitals. They do a great job. Yeah. Our hospitals here are better than they used to be, but they cost twice as much as they used to be as well. So I think you're right. I mean, you have to hit the illegal immigration situation. You have to have much more controls to prevent just overall fraud. That's just like one aspect of fraud. Overall, it's just kind of Medicare doesn't have the capacity to see which bills are accurate, which ones are not. They're just cutting checks, and that's just something that can't continue unless we just want to waste another $500 billion a year. That really doesn't even help any patients.
Right. So you say that Republicans, and I don't disagree with you, you say that Republicans they just can't figure out how to relate to the average American on the topic of healthcare. And I wonder why that is. I know that the Democrats are, by and large, they're about feelings, not about facts, right? And so they want to talk about how, I remember all of the arguments when Obamacare was passed, and it was like, Republicans want you to die in the streets. They don't want you to get health care. They want you to be sick. If you have cancer, they want you to die. I mean, it was just, the fear mongering was like out of control. But I just wonder, what do you think would resonate with the average American? Obviously, we want your costs to come down is something that would immediately resonate. But Do you think that it's the illegal immigration message that like, hey, we want these costs to go down, we're trying to do this? Do you think that it's just solely the cost? What do you think that it should be, that they should be communicating to the average American so that they get it and they go, oh, okay, Republicans are here for me? Because you're right. They've just done a terrible job of messaging. They botched it from the start. And I really hope that the end result of that, again, I'm trying not to like sound the alarm too heavily, but I just worry. I look at the housing market. I look at the economy. I look at, the cost of healthcare. I look at all of these things that are being driven up right now, in some cases because illegal immigration is making it worse. But regardless, all of these things are being driven up right now. And I'm really concerned in the midterms that Americans are going to feel that and say, Republicans haven't done anything for me, regardless of whether or not it's true. It doesn't matter. You're the messaging guy. What do you say?
I think you're exactly right. And they're going to need more than spin. I think the illegal immigration is good because that's something the president is doing something about.
Yeah.
And so that's progress being made there. But overall, unless premiums come down or at least flatten, and unless benefits get better, people just aren't going to be happy. I mean, the challenge right now is you have a double problem. The premiums are going up and the benefits are getting worse. And so your costs are going up because the premiums are up, but your cost sharing is going up. So that you go to pay a bill and they say, well, it doesn't cover that. It just happened to me at the doctor's the other day. So no, we're actually out of that network right now. So that's going to cost you X $100 more. So consumers are in a bind, and it's just tough. But I think short-term illegal immigration is the right way to deal with it. I think really the big message is get the middlemen out of this. I mean, the situation wasn't great when there weren't the middlemen involved, but right now it's almost like everybody is a middleman, not just insurers, but hospitals, and everybody's got a piece of the pie here, and it just has to stop. And that just won't stop until you have antitrust legislation, until these big health companies can stop buying or can no longer buy other health companies that they really should be competing with to bring costs down.
Yeah. So, and I want to make sure to clarify here, Mark, that I'm understanding you correctly. When you say all the middlemen, you say this entire insurance thing that we have designed should just be blown up and we should just start from the ground up with a reset. That's what I think. Is that what you're saying as well?
I would say if you start by undoing the big problems in Obamacare, because that is what has kind of put everybody in the middle, and everybody kind of is incentivized to get more government spending, to raise costs, to charge more. And so, no, the insurance companies play a valuable role. I don't mean to dump on them too much. Hospitals do, drug companies do, everybody does.
Sure.
Right now, all their incentives are wrong because of bad government policies. It really started with Obamacare. And you've got to take out the linchpins of that law, which force all these companies into basically old-fashioned trusts that protect each other, raise costs, and there's really no competition to bring the cost down.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, and it's frustrating when I hear from people who don't, potentially go into a doctor's office, they don't have insurance, and they're told that their cash price is way lower than anyone who has insurance, and it's like, oh, that's how you guys are gaming the system. Well, we got to stop that. So I'm with you. We've got a lot that we need to still do, a lot to be done, a lot of work to be done in that arena. And until we do that, Americans are going to pay for it. And it's going to continue to be something that Americans are left just waiting on their government to help them with. They're going to tinker with a whole bunch of stuff that they shouldn't be tinkering with in the first place, and then something that they really need to be tinkering with, we're still waiting on. So I appreciate you, Mark, for all of your expertise, and I appreciate what you do. This is something, again, that I think a lot of Americans don't think about other than my costs are too high. They don't think about what we can do to change it and what really needs to happen. And I appreciate all of your great work in this arena.
Great. Well, good to be with you. I think you already know enough without me, but I'm happy to help.
Yeah, no, thank you. I would have. Will you come back soon?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Great. Perfect. Mark Merritt, of course, he is the president and CEO of Proactive Strategies, teaching me something new today. So I appreciate you, Mark.
Okay, thanks. Good to see you.
Thank you. All right, we will be right back. Want to welcome to the show. This is where it gets dangerous. We got Derek Richards back in studio, comedian Derek Richards.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. And it would be enough that we have Derek Richards, but we also have of course, Dave Landau.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't appreciate you making me put out my cigarette, but it's good to be here.
Well, we have standards here, Dave.
Well, I don't like it.
It's just the management.
When did that show up?
Yeah, well,
I'm kidding. I don't smoke. I vape like a gay.
it's like I don't smoke. I just inject heroin. Anywho, yeah, I've been seeing Dave everywhere. Everywhere. You were just on Joe Rogan?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
That's so crazy.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That is badass.
I'm glad that clip is going around. I was like, I don't know. I did admit to injecting heroin on the biggest show on the planet, and then they clipped it.
Yes, they did. That was great. I was seeing the clips on there. I was just shaking my head. I was dying laughing. I'm like, this is fantastic. A 3-hour show.
Yeah, it did feel good, though.
Yeah. The heroin?
Yeah, that's what I was like, wait, which one?
Rogan and the heroin at the time.
The heroin at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't want the people to think that I didn't enjoy the heroin.
Well,
but don't do it unless it's prescribed by a doctor and called Oxy.
Yes.
I'm actually glad. It's interesting that you're wearing a baseball hat, which I want to get to in a second.
It is a Charlie Sheen Major League Baseball hat.
But it's still a baseball. I'm trying to use it as a segue, okay?
Sorry.
It's baseball, and I want to talk about something baseball related here in a second. But first, I want to get y'all's take on this latest headline. Sexual predator arrested. ICE New Orleans arrested Cristian Soto Galeano, a citizen of Guatemala. His criminal history includes a conviction for indecent behavior with a juvenile, and he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. We stand ready to face any challenge, big or small. This is from ICE New Orleans. And the obvious.
Well, thank God the statute of limitations isn't by height.
Is he?
He'd go free.
Wasn't he in Bad Santa?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Look at him. He's got a big smile on his face. If you zoom in on that picture, he looks awfully happy. And I like the ankle shackles, which are literally as long as his stride.
Did he just?
It's not inhibiting anything.
Yeah, that's true. He's used to already walking like that. Did he just walk into school with a backwards hat and a skateboard and be like, "Hello, fellow children"?
He could. He could.
He came win a little green derby at St. Patrick's Day.
He's adorable.
I just
I mean, as Guatemalan sexual predators go, he's very cute.
I mean, as far as a Guatemalan, sexual predator, he's very molestable.
No,
What?
You know what? It's fine. I'm just going to leave that.
No, I think we should talk about it.
Well, he's not.
I think he should get the electric high chair. What punishment are we going with?
Not for nothing, deporting him is going to be really easy. It's just like slinging him across the Rio Grande.
That's true. He might escape.
Yes.
All you have to do is not look down for 5 minutes.
I love he runs at you. You're an ice age, and you got to field him like a shortstop.
Yeah, that's true. Did he have a pick? No. He just took him off.
He just slid it right off. I just love ICE New Orleans. I think that all of the new administration, social media, the running of all of them has just been incredible to see. Like, they're really leaning into the comedy.
Yeah, well, they have to. I mean, is Steven Seagal part of it like he was with the New Orleans police?
Oh, that would be cool. Well, I know Dean Cain is like going to become an honorary ICE member.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah, they should. They should have Dean Cain and Steven Seagal arresting every dwarf who is a sex predator.
I think Steven Seagal has eaten every dwarf sexual predator.
That's true.
Have you seen the size of Steven Seagal lately?
That's what I mean. It's the only ones he can catch.
Yeah.
Like Dean Cain would have to push Steven Seagal in a wheelchair while they were chasing them.
I still think that they could get it done. That's all I'm saying.
Motorized carts.
So let's throw up the White House meme from the White House account. It says deported edition Labubu. And it's that guy. It's so good. It says WTF, maybe Labubus are demonic. Like, would you ever have gotten this from the Biden administration? Absolutely not. Everyone in that administration was gay and retarded. And now the White House is bringing comedy back. I felt like you guys.
That's actually very entertaining.
Yeah, that's great.
In Biden's defense, I feel like the guy did get here during his administration.
Yeah, I'm sure
showed
he
up.
did.
So a little credit where it's due.
Although it's probably easier to sneak through when you're
that's
short.
That's true. He could have came at any time.
He just slipped through the bar.
Yeah, the Biden administration has written a lot of setups for these punchlines.
Yeah, he did.
Without Biden, we don't have these punchlines. We don't have these memes.
Yeah,
If
that's fair.
Dementia Joe wasn't.
So he did contribute
in the White House. Yeah, he was a writer.
He could have just wrapped himself as a kilo and just jumped in any bag in Colombia.
Look at him.
Look,
Here he is, Dave.
Look at that little fat bastard. He looks like a chipmunk.
Why would you get tattoos?
Why is he that happy?
So menacing.
I don't know why you'd be that thrilled. That's just that's a very smiley headshot.
Oh, he's high.
Shot.
I mean, he's Colombian.
Yeah, Guatemalan, whatever.
Is he Guatemalan?
Same chip, different salsa.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Guatemalan.
You're people.
He was listening. Yes.
Isn't
Derek
that what
was
you
listening.
are?
Dave wasn't.
No, I was
not,
listening.
No, I'm American, Dave.
No, but you haven't. You're Oriental, right? That's the word. I don't want to say it wrong.
Orientals,
right?
I remember my grandpa would say that, and that was just he would go Orientals.
I want to bring that back.
And my mom would just be like, "What do you stop talking?"
Do I not say it, Steven? Do I not say that all the time?
I don't want to confirm or deny that.
I'm like, we got to bring back Orientals.
That's an answer.
I think it sounds fancier. I would prefer it, honestly, if I were Asian.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm
sounds
just
like a
saying.
fancy train.
It really does.
Or a human being that's lesser.
Yes.
Anywho, speaking of human beings that are lesser, let's talk about this Phillies Karen. This is where I mentioned Dave's hat, and it was supposed to all flow together, and then Dave ruined it.
It still flowed.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It did.
Shut up, Dave.
Sorry.
So, okay, so this Karen went viral over the weekend. I know everyone in the world has seen this, but the man runs over, grabs the home run ball for his kid whose birthday it was, hugs him, then gets unreasonably scared by this Karen getting in his face. Chaos ensues. They argue. They go back and forth, and then, of course, the dad instructs the kid to eventually, give the ball back and be gone with you. And of course, this woman was, as you would expect, just class act here, flipping off the family afterward. I believe that
flipping off the section.
Flipping off everyone in the
entire section.
Everyone in the section, because they were all booing her.
Yeah.
Are you going to go into what happened to her?
What happened to her?
You don't know?
What happened to her?
She got fired. She's a school administrator in New Jersey.
Was that confirmed?
From what I hear,
because I saw the story and then I saw it was debunked. So I'm not sure because I was
okay. So
because there's been several people that people have gone, it's this lady, and then they come out and they're like, it wasn't me. It was not me.
So it just looks like every school administrator that's a white woman and has that haircut.
Literally, yes. That's why I was like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just firing every school administrator except the men.
Here's what cracks me up. How can we not find out who she is? When I can go flying through a toll plaza and they can capture my image and they go, this is you,
Not
Derek.
that you've ever
you
actually
didn't
done
pay.
that.
You didn't pay for this. You didn't pay for this toll.
Derek has definitely paid up on his toll violation. So that
I'm not. Thank you.
It's just a
crazy. First of all,
she's been on every media outlet imaginable.
And nobody knows who
social
she
media
is.
Platform, and no one's coming forward.
Now, I will also say, I don't know if that says a good thing or a bad thing about our society that we have to know who she is.
I think we do. There's two important things here. One, find a car that looks like yours, take their plate. They'll get a new plate. You drive with that at the speed limit. Secondly,
there you go, Derek.
Cut that down for me.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Secondly, the father is a bitch.
Yes.
Now, I have nowhere else to say it.
Yes.
First of all, I would have been like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't go away, I'm going to hit a woman in front of my son.
Yep.
And he's going to learn that you should never hit a woman except you. So, it's a child. It's his ball. Also, my son would have learned in that area, if there was a child younger than him, the younger kid would have got the ball. That's how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the child in the section gets the ball. Anytime you catch a ball and there's a kid around, you hand it to the kid. It doesn't matter. If you were an adult and there's a kid, it's their ball.
No.
That's how it works.
No.
Really?
You guys have kids.
Yes, that's how it works.
What are you going to do as a grown-ass man with a baseball?
No one ever handed me a baseball when someone caught it in my section.
So you're going to take it out on the kids around you?
Listen.
I'm never going to a baseball game with you,
This
Derek.
is not.
I don't think that. No, you're wrong.
Listen.
No.
This whole world is not the Biden administration with a handout, all right?
It's not
So
a handout.
you want to go ahead, you want to catch the ball, then you jump in front of the ball and you catch the ball. The world isn't about handouts.
Well, he grabbed
Yeah,
it.
the dad did.
The dad did. Okay, but Steven, if you could just go back to, I want to get the dad jump. That's like the most disturbing.
Talk about this soulless. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please. Let's do that. But that's like the most disturbing part is the jump. He's so scared. Like what?
Yeah, that little move right there.
What a bitch.
No one goes like this because a woman or anybody.
It's like, who gives it? What's she going to do to you? That right there tells you all you need to know about that dad. What a terrible example that he is setting as a father to tell his son, any crazy, mentally ill, leftist white woman, you just do what she says and then she'll go away.
That dad has a cuck chair in his bedroom.
He must.
Yeah.
Anybody in Fenway history would have beaten that woman to death.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him.
The chance of you getting that guy.
Not him.
It's like 1 in a billion.
This was in was it in Philly or was it in Miami? Because it was it
was an away game, wasn't it?
It was a Marlins game, but there are obviously a ton of Phillies fans there because the Marlins suck, and there's a lot.
I thought it was Boston. I thought I'm an idiot.
No, this was in, but because the Marlins
sorry,
gave the kid like some.
I mean, you are talking about Philadelphia, not much difference.
No, I'm trying to say, yeah, we know the sports fans.
Right.
I'm saying any Phillies sports fan, had this been an Eagles game and someone caught a football, not that would happen.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. They'd be dead.
Beyond.
Yeah. All right. They're telling me I have to do an ad read now.
All right.
Okay.
I guess I will. Make sure to find Derek at DerekRichards.com.
DerekRichards.com. I'll be in Waterford, Michigan, September 18, 19, 20 at One Night Stands Comedy Club.
Great. And then DaveLandau.com.
DaveLandau.com. You can find me at DaveLandau.com. I'm going to be around.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
He's gonna be
they
around.
can just check it out. I'm the kind of person who, if I catch a baseball, I would give it to a child.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to this guy about that. But we want to thank our sponsor first. We're going to beat the shit out of him, and then we're going to give him Relief Factor. Wow. Thank our sponsor, Relief Factor. So Relief Factor is there, yes, for those of you who you live in pain. Maybe because you're a terrible person who doesn't give baseballs to people and you get beat up. Or maybe just because you're old. I don't know what it is, but make sure that you go check out Relief Factor. They've got a 3-week QuickStart pack that can get you out of pain. It's $19.95, less than $1 a day to feel better. Derek, you're going to need this. A 3-week QuickStart, write this down, ReliefFactor.com. Get your 3-week QuickStart of Relief Factor over at ReliefFactor.com. Oh my gosh.
What?
You should share that on air.
I will share it on air.
You got 40 seconds?
40 seconds. That was a spring training game. White Sox, Blue Jays in Dunedin, Florida. Ozzie Guillen was raking the balls in after they got done with the infield practice. And I go, hey, Ozzie, throw me a ball. So he looks at me, flips a ball. There's like 4 little kids in front of me. I reached in front and grabbed it. And then we had a couple cocktails ahead of time, my buddy of mine and I. And I look at the kids. The kids turn around and look. And I went, ah! Now, this was... I was younger.
It would be funny.
Not that much younger.
If they were an assortment of race, though, and you just gave it to the white kid.